Hello. So I'm going to tell a story, and it's in the Bible, and it's about being the good neighbor. And a man had asked Jesus, he said, Jesus, what is a good neighbor? And Jesus likes to tell stories. They're called parables, but he likes to say parables to get you to understand. So he told the man, he said, well, there was this man, he had got beaten up, bruised. He Oh, this reminds me of something too, my hometown. A homeless man sitting on the corner of the street, and they some people call him a drunk, some people um walk right past him, no one helps. Well, one man walked past him, and he was a preacher, a priest, a preacher. He was the head of a church, and he didn't say nothing. He didn't help. He didn't say nothing. He walked right past him. And I'm like, dang, you're a preacher and you don't even help the homeless? Just saying. And then a second man walked past him, and he didn't help. But this reminds me of something in my hometown where I seen a second man have passed this other man, and he helped him. But while he helped him, he put it on a Facebook Live. So basically, he's like, hey, y'all, I'm over here. I'm about to give so and so a plate of food and do. And then he got it recorded, and the man got plenty of sense, by the way, the homeless man. And when I seen him recording the good deed he was doing, I couldn't help but to feel like ill, for one, like you're not supposed to show off your good deeds. And two, what about that man that you're serving food? That's a 50 year old grown, oh, I want to cuss, grown a man. He sees what you're doing, that you're on face. That's embarrassing. The humility of already being on the corner of the street and you giving it to him. Where is the heart in that? The best things is when no one can see it. It's between me and you, right? Or you and that other person. So anyways, the good neighbor. And the third person came, and the third person helped him. They uh put him in the, I'm going in my head, I'm going to real life and then I'm going to Jesus, but it does happen, because that was real life then, it's real life now, so it still happens. Everything in the Bible, still, he's the same God as yesterday, today, tomorrow. So I'm sorry if I pause, because it's just kind of blowing my mind a little bit how it's so relative to a real life scenario in my hometown and what it's in the Bible. But crazy. The third one, I put him in an inn, paid for his room so he can be nice and warm. And Jesus said, now out of those three, which one do you think is the good neighbor? Of course, the one that helped him without bragging, the one that stopped and gave him the time of the day. That's the good neighbor. So I'm gonna read this because, like I said, I love my little book. It's the Bible, but it just is my book, God, and it's got little things in there, like a little billboard thing, and it says that love that. It says that love thy neighbor thing. I meant that, God, and so I'm just gonna read what it says right here. Every Everybody knows they're supposed to love their neighbor, but not everybody knows how or why. My son told a famous story once about whose neighbors are and how they treat each other. A man laying by the roadside, beaten, robbed, dying. Two of the countrymen passed by, refused to help, having no pity on him. But a third man, a hated foreigner. Oh, yeah, that's a good one. The one that people hate is the one that really loves everyone. Funny. Had compassion and helped him, saving his life. Who was this injured man's neighbor? It was the one who showed his care for another's need without expecting a reward or thanks. You obey all my laws when you love me above all others and love your neighbor as yourself. Most people you meet won't need bandages, but everyone needs love. Patience, kindness, tenderness, and forgiveness, compassion, and tolerance. Them children need tolerance. Here's the way to love your neighbor. Do for others. what you want them to do for you. By the way, loving your neighbor isn't a suggestion, it's a commandment for all who follow me. So, love your neighbor. If you see someone hurt them. You see someone need help, help them. Do to others that you would want done to you. Okay, you know what just came to my mind? Ain't nobody help me. I remember one time I was working at this plant and someone's loved one passed away. So everyone had an envelope and was giving money for the family. And I asked the person, I said, "Do you want to give money?" And he said, "Ain't nobody helped me when my aunt passed away last week." And I hear it too much. I hear what people say, "Well, didn't nobody help me? Why should I help them? They don't help me." Do you think if that was me, they would help me the way I help them? Trust me, if I had a penny every time I heard that. So what I did, I went and I gave him $1. That's all I had. But it's the principle. And then, I wrote a little note and I said, "I'm sorry for your aunt's passing." So showing him that good deed, that token of love, that compassion, he smiled and he gave money for the other person. Because sometimes somebody needs someone to do it first. So they can remember to do it or dig deep in themselves and know, oh yeah, love still does exist. They did it for me, I'm gonna do it for someone else. But let's just talk about the people that where it doesn't happen for them, right? I start talking fast, I don't know what just now. The people where it doesn't happen to you, it didn't happen for me either. And then when I got God in my life, he was always there. And Jesus, when I understand how much they love me and they tell me every day, and they tell me because I actually listen. And for them to love me, it makes me want to love everyone else. And it didn't happen to me. People didn't help me. People see me crying. Did anyone stop and ask, "What's wrong with you?" No. They judged. And what I'm trying to say is love thy neighbor. And it's a commandment. God wants you. He's watching. So when you say, "They didn't love it for me," actually, he understands how you feel. That's how they did Jesus. But at the same time, he wants you to love. He wants you to help. Help them. If there's a homeless person on the street and you say, "I'm not going to give them no money. There's a job around the corner." Sometimes people don't even need money. Sometimes we just need to see if you'll do it. Where's your heart? Have you ever asked someone for something? Oh, God, how cute this was in school. And a boy would say something and I say something. They say, "Nah, I just want to see where your heart is." Well, maybe God just wants to see where your heart is, right? Did you ever think of that? So, love thy neighbor. Okay? Love thy neighbor and treat others how you want to be treated. If you don't get the treatment that you wish you got or you feel like you deserve, you still do it, and I promise it'll come back to you. It starts with you. What's that word? Gonna make a change. The Michael Jackson song, "For Once in My Life." I ain't about to sing. But, yeah. Starting with the man in the mirror. Starting with the woman in the mirror. How the world gonna get better if each one of us don't change? Okay. That's it. Sorry. Rant over. It's not actually a rant, it's a message. So.